You already know what it is. Come on. Yeah.
The hottest hits.
Hot 106.
It's the Hot Morning Show with Bekah and Mike D, and we're taking a trip to Hadestown with Hannah Whitley, who plays, and she's going to have to probably correct me on Eurydice. Did I get that right?
So close. It's Eurydice.
Eurydice. And I saw the show and I still couldn't get it, but Eurydice.
Eurydice.
I wish I practiced that a little bit more. That's all right. Hannah, how are we feeling after opening night?
Oh my God. Opening night was so much fun in Providence. Like, the crowd was amazing. That theater is gorgeous. It was fun, to do the show again. And honestly, like, I think it really helped that this town is just also gorgeous too. Like, I walked outside, I didn't know what to expect from Providence, Rhode Island at all. And I walked outside, it's like gorgeous. The architecture is beautiful. The weather was amazing. Yesterday I was in a skirt. So like, I was jazzed for opening night yesterday.
First full day of spring, and I agree with you. There was a really good vibe, very good energy from the crowd last night. And
really good. Yes.
I really think that continuing, you're going to have that experience. Hadestown is at PPAC through March 26th. So, okay, Hadestown is a little, you agree with me, a little hard to explain to people who might not be familiar with it. And sometimes when people hear Greek mythology, they might have like these flashbacks to high school, but it's so much more than that.
Yes, it's so much more than I completely agree. It is a little bit confusing to those to try to explain it. It's a big show. It's so interesting because it's actually a very complex show, but at its core, actually also like a very simple show. And like, I feel like a story that people always, that it's relatable to everybody. So it's, like at its core, it's kind of boy meets girl and they fall in love. And on the other side, we have two married couples who are fighting, except these married couples happen to be Greek gods and they are turning the world into turmoil and like destroying it for everybody. But honestly, no, Hadestown is the intertwining love stories of Orpheus and Eurydice and Persephone and Hades. And I feel like, it takes the audience on a journey of those two love stories, but ultimately it's like a great story of love, loss, decision-making, fate, fear. And so all of those themes like are so relatable to just like daily human experience. Even though like this show revolves around Greek mythology, it really is more revolved around the world we live in today.
Yeah, I found it, especially how one decision could just alter so many others that fall in line and have an effect, a snowball effect on different things.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is actually, I guess I've thought about that, but I wonder if maybe tonight in the show, I mean, I'm sure you could just do this whole show, especially from Eurydice's point of view, and just look at every just single decision that she makes that changes her life and just kind of track the show that way. And it's crazy.
It is. What do you love about playing Eurydice?
I love, you know what I was thinking? Like, after doing this part and like, everybody always asks, like, what do you want to do next? And like, I think Eurydice has made me really just like want to like one day master playing the complex woman. I love how complicated she is. And I love that the well is always deeper. You can always dig deeper. I never get bored doing this show. I never get bored playing her. If anything, I'm just like, oh my God, there's so much more to uncover. And I like, that she's like, I like that she's tough, but her toughness ultimately is vulnerability, which for me was a real challenge. So I like being able to grow into her vulnerability because that didn't come naturally to me.
Okay, that's very interesting. But as an actress, it's something that you find like inside of you and it just erupts.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's a lot of dark, obviously it's called Hadestown. So there's a lot of dark undertones to the show. So how do you as a cast keep things light?
Oh, we keep things like, it is like a really dark show. And so I think we honestly, sometimes I forget about that because our cast is so light and we are so kooky and crazy. Let me think. Like our sound checks are insane. Like most of the time it's us. We have to sing through like a decent amount of the show at the beginning, at opening night of every city. And during sound check, we're like all doing like the parodies of all these songs. Like we're giving the correct vocals so sound can do their job, but we're also just like running around the set. We're knocking on each other's dressing room doors at intermission. Oh my God, my favorite pre-show ritual is the band, especially the band on stage right, which is this side of the stage I enter from. They play like whatever, you can give them any song to play, and the trombone, the cello, and the violin can like literally, I could be like, play Rihanna's Work, and they will like freestyle that song on those instruments, like literally seconds before we go on stage.
Can you do like, you ask them to do like Super Freaky Girl by Nicki Minaj tonight?
Okay, I'm gonna get on record. I'm gonna get a recording for you.
I would really love that. You know what? I do want to circle back to something you said, Hannah, about one thing that does separate Hadestown from other shows is the fact that the band is live on stage. There's no pit. There's no behind the scenes. You have live trombone, like you said, piano, guitar, the list goes on, cello, violin. What is that like to have the band right there with you?
Oh my God, that's like the fun, like that's one of the coolest parts of the show, just like you said. I mean, I think it's super fun to be, I think of the band almost as another character. I really do. And so much of the musical cues in this show inform the storytelling, even like on a micro level, especially like this show's, talks a lot about like climate crisis and this world that is in an unstable weather condition. And so much of the band creates that atmosphere of just like the wind and the storm and the weather changing that I like use to imagine all these things. And like secret note, like also like there are moments that I look to the band and I'm like, can you guys help me? And they're like, nah, we can't help you, girl.
Secret note.
Secret moment. And please. And they're like, no, we don't know. So yeah, they're amazing, and like, everybody who comes to see the show are just as enthralled with the band as they are with the characters themselves.
And and not to give, I don't want to give too much away because obviously we want people to go see Hadestown running at PPAC through the 26th. But one thing I did love was how, I don't want to say the word casual, but how you guys all sort of walked on stage together and sort of almost like a warm up. You weren't even quite in character yet. And I thought that was really cool.
I personally love that about the show. It honestly kind of feels that way. It does kind of feel like a warm up for even me as an actor. It kind of feels like we're gathering together as a community of storytellers. And we're like, we're going to do this, and let's buckle up because it's going to be a crazy 2.5 hours. But I love that also just on a personal level. I just love getting to see everybody's face and kind of have that mix between I'm seeing the actor and I'm also seeing them in their costume. So I am seeing a little bit of their character, but I'm mostly just seeing them for them. And we're just all kind of gathering as a community that we are as a cast.
And also you mentioned, I mean, PPAC is this beautiful, ornate theater, but doing something like that and the way the show is narrated, it does offer an intimacy that sometimes big theaters don't offer up. And that's what I kind of loved about Hades. One of the many things I loved about Hadestown.
Yay. I'm so glad.
Listen, Hannah, you're so talented. As I was saying to you before we got on record, your voice is so beautiful. So I won't take up any more of your time because I don't want to be the reason why like you need an extra vocal warm up tonight. So,
oh my God, thank you. Honestly, like the 8 shows a week, it's like no joke. Like it's a serious thing. Like you go from like singing for fun, and then like when you do a show 8 times a week, it is like you have to like think of your voice as like an instrument and like
a muscle.
Really, but yes, for sure. So thank you.
Yeah, you're constantly working it. It's like having leg day 8 times a week, which nobody wants.
Nobody wants that, right? No, it's a struggle.
But you succeed at it. You're so good. The whole cast of Hadestown running right now through March 26th. Hannah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Go see Hadestown. Woo.
You already know what it is. Come on. Yeah.
The hottest hits.
Hot 106.